You said that you asked me if I knew where she was. You know where she's at.
I wish I knew where she was. I mean, yes, where she was a while ago, and I had no clue what's going on with her.
Patrol said you've had some dark thoughts lately. What's that about? Did you tell an officer this morning you had some dark thoughts? Did you tell some people you had some dark thoughts lately?
No.
Have you had dark thoughts?
No.
Thoughts about hurting people or...
No dark thoughts.
Remember what I said earlier? That we're going to go through all those places, man.
That's funny, yeah. I thought maybe you already would have.
Are we going to find Elizabeth in there? Nobody of those places? Where are we going to find her?
I'm not sure you guys already been to her apartment. She's not in here. Hibernating.
Where do you think she's at?
I don't know. That's what I was like, dang. That's why I asked, does she have family? The Lord said someone. She was all this family. I've heard Lori talk. Lori kind of dissed her. Lori made her feel bad. Lori made her feel bad.
Did you tell Lori what you did with her? Did you tell Lori how you helped her find peace?
No, not really, because maybe in different words, I helped her find, I encouraged her. That's what I told Lori. Because Lori was over there about 15 feet and I was here. Elizabeth was here. She just talking like depressed. And you need to quit worrying about what I'm going to think. You know, just focus on you. Everything else will work out. You know, just God, thanks.
Here
You're
you're,
giving me peace.
you're minimizing it again. I think you know what happened to her.
I know I try to encourage people.
What did you encourage her to do?
Not worry about what everybody else thinks.
Was she talking about harming herself?
Not that I know of.
Did you have sex with her?
Never heard no one that never would.
Did you and her and Lori have sex together? All three of you?
Do that. Lori would. That's the thing. Lori really don't want to have sex until marriage. Never gonna do that. Cold feet. Never gonna do marriage.
So what's going to happen when I find evidence that's going to link you to Elizabeth?
I don't know what kind of evidence you can find. There ain't none.
You know, there's another girl missing from town here too. Have you heard about that one?
No, Amber alert, her on the radio, minor, 10-year-old or 11-year-old girl.
Where you have a radio?
On the radio, $3.
When did you hear about the Amber Alert?
Last night. Did you turn it on the radio? Yeah, beeping. Yeah, it was last night. Beep, beep, beep.
While Lori was with you? Is she here?
Yeah, Amber alert. Just beeping. The little girl missing, abducted.
Where?
And I'm talking about her. Oh, this is not from here anyway, so that's right. That's true. These are from here. Probably not minor either.
Why?
Or to be a bigger issue. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like minors.
You know, any person that's gone, it's an issue. It's a big issue.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like what you did to Lori is kind of a big issue. Elizabeth's a big issue.
Yes. So isn't that, you said someone else?
Mm-hmm. That's a big issue.
Well, yeah.
All from the same area that you've been hanging out.
Oh,
All in the same time frame that you've been here. This is what I'm telling you, dude.
yeah. Wow.
And we're going to be looking at a lot of places today. I'm going to be up with you. Because I think you're bullshitting me.
What's up?
Finally, any of these women, these other two women, to you and the places you've been, you're going to have bigger issues. And this is what I'm saying. This is the opportunity for you to put everything on the table. I've treated you fairly. Do you agree or not agree?
I agree.
So if you know more about Elizabeth and another woman, please use this opportunity. Let's talk about it. Let's find them. Let's get closure for their family. And let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Closure.
Just with Elizabeth.
Teacher.
Do you know what happened to her?
No. Oh, I heard this a couple of, like, 2 weeks ago, she told us.
Well, listen, you sit here and think, drink some coffee. Think about everything you told me. If you want to be honest with me, turn a little bit. I'll clean the slate. But right now, I don't think you're entirely honest.
All right, we think about it.
I want you to think hard about Elizabeth. All right? What do you think? Anything you want to touch on? That you didn't necessarily tell me the truth about?
Thank you.
And where did those thoughts lead you?
Worried for hours.
For hours?
In a way, but she didn't say no.
Well, you know, we talked to Lori, so we'll just touch on some things here. You told me that you tied her up with a scarf and a shirt. And there's also some like ties, straps. Is there some sort of strap there? What else did you tie her up with beside the scarf and shirts?
She doesn't, I don't know. No straps.
Okay. She said mentioned some sort of brown thing. What's that? Is there some sort of toy or something you were using on her? She says you took some video of her when you forced her to give you oral sex from your cell phone. Yeah, why?
Act like a video. Yeah, it might have been a video.
So where's your cell phone? Okay, it's still in the house. So you took video. How's that work? You said you got one hand on the back of her head, holding her there. How are you taking the video?
I sent the video to the camera aside.
It's a cell phone? Yeah, that's fine. And it's just videotaping the whole thing. She also said that you tied her to a wooden chair.
No, that's where initially it was the one to tie her, but she didn't want to go. She didn't want to be tied there. So that was like, okay. I need to step out, tie you in for a little bit. She let me tie her up.
So you were going to tie her up in the chair?
Yeah, I was going to tie her up on the chair, but she didn't want to be tied up in the chair.
Okay.
So I did.
She didn't want to be tied up at all, right?
No, but then she let me tie her up.
So how do you get her from the chair to the bed? And let's clarify something. She didn't.
She listened.
Okay. So you're giving her orders?
Yeah.
She's scared, you're giving her orders, telling her what to do. How are you threatening her?
Nothing threatening her, not being nice about it.
What are you saying to her? I mean, that's not really nice. That's...
I know, it's not right.
What are you doing? What are you saying to her?
Everything, like, so I need to step out. Alright, so I have to tie you up for right now. Alright, get back and figure out. I'll walk you home. Honestly.
How do you, I'm talking about the chair. How do you get her from, she doesn't want to be tied up in the chair. So how do you get her from the chair to the bed?
Oh, she's already on the bed. I want her to go to the chair from the bed.
Okay, all right. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to be tied up at all.
No, she didn't want to be tied up at all.
She says that you use Vaseline for lubrication.
It was hurting. So I stopped, and then she mentioned lubrication. So it won't hurt her.
Is the Vaseline in that house? So lubrication was to, for vaginal sex or anal sex? And she says you also spit in your hands and put that on your dick for lubrication?
I believe she did once. She spit, I don't know. Yeah, she did it. I didn't say nothing about that, she just did it.
You're saying she did it?
Well, I mean, maybe she needed lubrication, so that's what she did. She spit in her hand.
And did what?
I reckon, I mean,
She put it on her or you?
I'm not exactly sure what she's talking about. Picture this time that she is getting me head and spit in her hand. Check me out some.
Now you're telling her to do this?
Well, no, I already wanted her to get me head until after getting me head.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've already established that. You said you forced that. So did you tell her to spit in her hand for lubrication? So what are you telling her? How are you talking to her?
It'd be nice.
No, I'm not playing that
I
game.
mean, I ain't yelling at her.
But what are you saying to her?
I should not say much to her. You know, I know what you're saying. How did I act and how did I boss her around? I didn't really ask for much. And then, like, when we was having sex, she didn't really want to. No, of course not. She didn't want to. But once we started having sex, you know, she liked it and everything.
I don't really believe that. I think
I turned myself in that she would forgive me and possibly marry me.
she told you that. You think maybe she's just telling you that to get you off of her?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I understand that.
She's talking survival mode. You know, she's afraid something's going to happen to her. She's afraid she's going to get hurt,
Yeah.
possibly killed.
Yeah, I understand. But her nerves and everything. Right, yeah.
She's just telling you things to get you to let her go.
Yeah, I understand.
She's saying that you were putting pills in her mouth.
No.
What'd you put in her mouth?
She needed an energy boost, right? She was like, oh, energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a stacker, some stackers. Or these energy drink shots. energy. I handed it to her. She took it and
She took it or you put it in her mouth? Now, come on. She's telling you you put it in her mouth.
we did 2 different times.
22 different times.
Because there was another time I had a pill, a headache pill, before I was getting ready to leave. That's after I tied her up. I asked. She said she had a headache. Okay, look, take this up. There's a towel.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to take the towel.
So you put that in her mouth?
Well, I went to it, but then she's like, no, I don't want it. So I did.
What pill did you actually physically put in her mouth?
There was no pill that I actually put in her mouth. I was going to put one in her mouth.
And what happened? She wouldn't take it?
She decided not to. But later, I handed
She decided not to, or she wouldn't let you put it in her mouth?
She decided that she wanted just to take a shot, a drink, a energy drink shot. Then it was like, okay. And then,
So you put the energy drink shot out?
no, and then I put it in her hand. This was before she was tied up. Put it in her hand, and then she decided she didn't want to take it here. So I put that on. But there was a time I was going to put a towel on in her mouth, but she had a headache. And then she decided she didn't want to do that. So I just set it on the counter. I never forced her to give her that pill. She did it somehow. She took something on her own. She took ibuprofen, PM or something like that. I don't know. She took on that.
She's saying that you duct taped her mouth.
That's why I went to the gas station.
You put duct tape on her mouth, so you tie her to what? The bed? And then you put duct tape on her mouth? Why?
Sure, yeah. I can be right back. As soon as I got back to her, I tied her. I don't know.
And did you take the duct tape off her mouth? She said you were freaking out because you couldn't find the duct tape and the scissors.
No, I couldn't find the scissors to take off, to cut the duct tape and stuff off of her.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find the scissors to take off of her.
What's the deal with the stun gun?
Oh, just something I got a long time ago. I didn't think it works. Just a battery.
Did you press it on her?
Yeah.
Did you try to use it on her?
Yeah.
What was you doing with it?
Just a flashlight.
What were you doing with it?
I just used it for a flashlight.
Well, how did you use it on her? Because she said you used it on her.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Did you threaten her with it?
No, I didn't.
How did she see it?
She did. She know that I handed it to her. The whole camera was like her. She needed a light, and I gave her it. She knew what it was, and I think.
Well, I don't understand. Why did she need it?
What did she do? Oh, I asked her to hold it for me. I was getting ready to roll the joint. She held it for me.
Did you tell her it was a stun gun?
Well, she didn't know what it was.
How'd she know what it was? How'd she know it was a stun gun?
Because I carried it in my pocket to her place.
So you mentioned it before that it was a stun gun?
Yeah, I showed her how it works. I asked her if she needed it.
So you showed her that zapped, so it works.
It used to work. I showed her about 2 weeks ago. I don't even know if it works now because a bunch of can of wax. So,
Where'd you get it?
good market.
So, how did you use it to threaten her?
I never used it. So
How'd you use it on her the last 2 days?
I didn't. I just used it as a flashlight. I don't threaten her with it. It's not bad. I mentioned that you have a stun gun that you could use.
On you?
Yeah, I said it don't work. I think it works. I haven't know how to press the button for a long time. But I know last time I tried it, it didn't work.
Now, when you were tying her up, you were explaining explaining how you put her arm under her leg. Was that for access? For sex? To get into her vagina?
I never done that before.
But did you enter her while she was tied up?
No, never done that when I was tied up.
I don't believe that. That's not what she's saying.
Well, should ask her again, because I never had no other type of intercourse. Let's see. Well, let me think about it. She has been tied up long ago. I didn't do nothing with her.
No.
Never was tied up or did anything. I see where she would think that, but no.
Did you take any other videos of you and her having sex? Go ahead.
I tied her up right there. But time to go see something. For her.
After you tied her up?
Yeah,
You licked her pussy?
a little bit. Yeah. But that's not the reason why I tied her up or anything. She already told me to do it before that. Anyways.
Already told you to do what? Lick her?
Before I even tied her up at first.
She's not, wait a minute, she's not wanting to have sex.
I asked her that. Asked her if she wanted to be able to put see she'll lie like that. She's honest. She'll say yeah. She told me to eat her pussy.
So what else? You know, we had this list of things you didn't come clean about. What else did you not tell me the truth about earlier?
Well, a lot of little things and not just
Like what?
being messed up. I gotta come clean.
We still got the issue with Elizabeth.
What issues a little bit.
You said you helped her find peace. You said hurry.
That's what she said.
Yeah, how'd you help her?
Or we're listening to everybody in confusions. People always have opinions. I need to get away.
Get away where? Did you talk about going anywhere?
You know, some family in Florida.
She ain't got no way to get down to Florida. I think she's still probably around here.
Yeah, she got a lot of friends around here. She's a girl. I'm sure she has a lot of friends and someone to take her in.
Well, she's got a lot of friends and family that are worried about her. And none of those friends and family are in. No. No, none of those friends and family have seen her. They're all worried about her.
Okay, now I walk down the hall and
Can you go to the bathroom? Yeah. Hold on just a second.
Now, Captain, what occurred then after we hear the audio conclude and presumably the defendant went down the hall again to the bathroom?
I would have taken him to the bathroom, and we came back to the interview room, and Detective Kim Major took over the interview.
Okay. And what was Kim Major doing while you were interviewing the defendant?
She had been speaking to the victim, Lori.
At the time you began your interview with the defendant, had you been advised of any findings within the house at 363 Covert Court?
No, we hadn't been inside yet.
Okay. In fact, I think we've had prior testimony that a search warrant was being drafted so that BCI could enter the house?
That's correct.
Is that the process that was occurring at this time?
Correct.
And had that been completed by the time your interview concluded?
No,
So officers hadn't even conducted a thorough search of the house
they had not.
when you finished speaking to him?
Correct.
And the person we hear you speaking to on this tape, are they in the courtroom today?
They are.
Would you point them out, please?
Be at the defense table wearing a white shirt, tie, glasses, beard. In the
Your Honor, if the
middle.
record could reflect the identification of the defendant.
Record will so reflect.
I'm directed back to Elizabeth's apartment. You testified yesterday that when you were there the second time, you collected a cellular telephone.
Yes, sir.
Through your investigation, were you able to determine, is that the only cell phone Elizabeth owned?
No, she had two.
Okay. Were you ever able to find that other phone?
We never did find the second phone.
At some point, did you cause a search warrant to be executed for those phone records of the missing phone?
I did.
And when you received them, did what you received cause you to make a telephone call?
It did.
To what number?
I called 419-543-5436. That was the last outbound call from that phone.
And what happened when you dialed that number?
It went to a male's voicemail named Shawn.
Thank you, Captain.
Cross-examine.
Thank you, Cliff. Captain Lay, when you did this interview with Shawn Grate, that was voluntary on his part?
Yes, sir.
No threats, promises, anything, no inducement there?
No, sir.
And he freely talked to you?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? All right. In looking through pages 50, 51, and 52 on the transcript, I see that it started there that there would be the word thereupon and then silence. There were several of those through pages 50, 51, 52. You recall those?
Yes, sir.
What was going on during those periods of silence?
What pages, sir?
50, 51, and 52.
There was nothing going on. The defendant was thinking about his answer.
I could hear it during those periods of silence. It sounded like somebody sniffling. Was someone crying?
There was a time when the defendant was sobbing, yes, sir.
Okay. And that was basically during the time you were talking to him about Elizabeth, I think. Would that be fair?
Yes, sir.
At one time, he said to you, and when you were talking with him about Elizabeth Griffith, his answer was, she's set free, no more problems, and she doesn't have to cry no more. Remember that answer? What did you think at that time when he told you that?
I thought he killed her, sir.
Okay. So that was in your mind after you heard that answer?
Yes, sir.
And he spoke that to you freely, voluntarily, did he not?
He did.
Never did come right out and say, I killed her, or I did this with her, or I did that with her.
He did not.
But he did make that statement, she's set free, no more problems, she doesn't cry, she doesn't have to cry anymore.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Redirect.
Captain, he freely and voluntarily told you that she was set free, correct?
He told me that, yes.
And then he rather freely and voluntarily denied it.
Yes, repeatedly.
Is it a fair and accurate statement to say the defendant is less than 100% truthful with you?
He was not truthful with me.
And at least 2 points within the audio, he asks you what's happening. Isn't that correct?
He does.
So does it appear to you that he tailors some of his answers based on what he thinks you know?
He was being deceptive, seeing what I knew.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Lay. You're excused.
We'll call Detective Kim Major.
Mr. Tennell, I'm anticipating that this testimony is going to run through the lunch hour. Is that correct? So my point being, just let me know when we hit a point that you feel is appropriate to stop. Once we get into that lunch hour period of time or shortly thereafter.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
Would you tell us your name, please?
I'm Kim Major, M-A-G-E-R,
And how are you employed?
by the City of Ashland Division of Police.
And what do you do for the Division of Police?
I'm a detective.
And how long have you been employed with the City of Ashland Division of Police?
20 years.
And what did you do prior to being employed with the Ashland Police Department?
Directly preceding, I investigated allegations of child abuse and neglect
And where did you do that?
for the Ashland County Department of Job and Family Services.
And were you on duty on September 13th, 2016?
Yes, sir.
What shift did you work?
First shift.
And when does that begin?
For detectives, it begins when you get there, so generally around 7 to 8 a.m.
Okay. And at some point, were you advised that patrol was on a situation at a house at Covert Court?
Yes, sir.
And where were you when you were advised of that information?
I was in the shower. I had a text and a phone call that I missed, and when I got out of the shower, I responded to that from my captain.
Okay, and who's your captain?
David Lay.
And so what'd you do?
I immediately responded to the police department and began my shift.
And about what time would you say you arrived at the police department?
Right around 8 o'clock.
And what was happening at the police department when you got there?
When I arrived, I entered the detective bureau and I saw a victim who had been rescued from Covert Court. I saw her in the interview room, and there were officers talking about what to do from there.
And what did you do?
I was directed to interview the victim in my office, which I did.
And had you, were you advised, had anyone spoken to her before you?
I was advised that Captain Lay had spoken to her.
Okay. Now you then what, took her to your office?
Yes, sir.
Where is your office in relation to the interview room?
Maybe 20 feet away. It's not very far, probably four offices away, in one hallway, in one pod, which is the detective bureau.
And was anything happening at that time in the interview room, immediately following her departure from that room?
Not immediately following, but pretty quickly, Mr. Grate was brought on station and was put in the interview room.
Okay. And what happened with Mr. Grate?
He was conversing with Captain Lay.
So it's fair to say you were speaking with the victim, Lori, at the same time, at some point, that Captain Lay was speaking with the defendant,
That's correct.
but your interview began first.
Yes, sir.
All right. What was your impression of Lori?
She was very obviously distraught. I could see that physically, and her words and her voice clarified that as well.
And did she have any immediate concerns?
Yes.
What was that?
Where he was, whether he was going to have access to her, whether I was going to keep her safe from him.
And that's even within the confines of the police department.
Yes, sir.
Now, your office, you have to access your office through the police department, do you not?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so it's quite obvious that you're inside a secure environment,
Yes, it is.
and yet that was still her concern.
It was.
And how long would you say you spoke with Lori?
Over an hour.
Now, following your interview of the victim, what'd you do?
I arranged to have the victim taken to University Hospital Samaritan and be seen there. And directly afterwards, I spoke briefly with Captain Lay, and then I entered the interview room to interview Shawn Grate.
And your interview of Shawn Grate, was it recorded?
Yes, sir.
Do you carry a recorder on your person?
I carry a secondary recorder on my person, yes.
And is that how your interview was recorded?
It was recorded that way. Initially, it was also recorded by the video and audio that's for that room, that's part of the police department mechanism.
Okay. At some point, were there audio and visual problems with that unit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But the entirety of the interview is captured within your digital recorder?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is there any part of your conversation at any time with the defendant that wasn't recorded?
There's a walk down the hallway during a break period when some minor comments were made. Beyond that, my conversations are recorded.
And prior to beginning your interview with the defendant, was it your understanding that he had been advised of his Miranda warnings?
Yes, it was.
Now, approximately how many times would you say you interviewed the defendant on September 13th?
On September 13th, there were multiple breaks, so the interview would begin and end. From the standpoint of the police department, we call it one interview, but there are breaks in the interview, so it's segmented.
Okay, so there are multiple different recordings,
Yes, sir.
because when you weren't speaking with him, you would shut off the recording,
That's correct.
with this exception of a hallway walk.
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, I'm going to show defense counsel State's Exhibit 281, 282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 288, 289, 290, 291, and 292. Detective, I'll show you State's Exhibits 281, 283, 285, 287, 289, and 291. Take a minute to look at each of those. Do you recognize what those are?
Yes, I do.
What are those?
These exhibits are recordings from my interview with Shawn Grate. These are initialed and dated by me when I authenticated those by listening to them.
Okay, and are those all of the recordings by you of your interviews with respect to September 13th, 2016?
I believe so, yes.
And you said you've initialed each one of those?
Yes, sir.
So you've reviewed each one of those discs prior to coming to court today?
Yes, I did.
And is each one of those discs a fair and accurate recording of your interview with respect to Shawn Grate?
Yes, sir.
Now, each one of those discs is redacted in part, is that correct?
Yes, they are.
The remaining portions that you listened to, they are accurate?
Yes, they are.
Are they as they occurred on September 13th, 2016?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, that might not be a bad spot to work. 281 would be the next one to play. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes.
I'd say let's do 281 and then take a break.
Very well. With your permission, Your Honor, if we could place State's Exhibit 281.
Any objection?
No objection.
Are we going to hand out 282s?
Yes, sir.
So the jury-
Exhibit, or the transcript corresponding to that is Exhibit 282.
Thank you. And again, for the record, this is pursuant to the stipulation of the parties previously sealed. May proceed.
Thank you.
2016, time 10:53 a.m. Detective Major preparing to interview Shawn. That's Shawn. Hi, Shawn. Can you join us? Where did these cups off here? There's a lot of maybe reading the Bible with her, and it looks like you were trying to find your walk with Christ there. Am I right? Okay. And wow, does she know her stuff when it comes to that, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's on my case all the time, which is good.
Yeah, it is. It is. Here's what I know, okay? I know that sometimes good people do stupid things, and sometimes things kind of just explode. One bad thing kind of turns into another bad thing. So here's the deal, Shawn, and I'm Ken, just call me Ken, okay? I don't think we can really be defined by a little block of time in our life, all right? We can make mistakes and want to be defined by that. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes good people do stupid things, and I know that. So we're trying to be pretty delicate with situations definitely like this. Try to be kind of careful. She came in, she was open and honest, and it sounds like you're trying to be open and honest as well. Now, what I do know is sometimes people kind of perceive things differently when they're in a situation, but it sounds like you're pretty honest. I want to kind of go through what she said and see what we're missing, okay? So I appreciate your candidness. I appreciate your openness that you've already been trying to explain some things. It looks like you have a conscience. You feel you have some feelings. I can see that. I saw you tear up when I came in. So.
You understand? Yeah, my culture thing.
She said you're going through some things.
Excuse for what happened.
If you say something to her, what would you tell her?
Well, I've been telling her that she's saying that you're doing a really good job. You don't have to change.
Would you tell her you're sorry?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can see that you're hurting. I can see that, so I can see that you... Go ahead, what are you thinking?
You're born, but I'm just trying to stay strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think with her, it's a little bit more difficult because with the whole sexual part, it's just not something she does. I mean...
Not about marriage.
Right, she doesn't believe in sex without marriage, so she 36, she doesn't have sex at all. That's just not something she believes in. Her boundaries are pretty strong, aren't they? I mean, you weren't even allowed in her apartment, were you? And did you guys ever talk on the phone, or would she ever give you her phone number?
No, she didn't do the phone thing.
Yeah, she doesn't do the phone, exchange the phone numbers, she can't come in her apartment, she's pretty strong on that. Let me ask her this.
Somebody's going to wonder what she's hiding from. And if I don't look at all of her laws and everything, but she can just go in to where I'm staying with no problem. It's okay. Like, I can't go to her place, which is fine, but it's so she sees it okay that she can come with me.
How many times has she been in your home? Just the one time? Twice? Tell me about the other time.
Friday.
Tell me about Friday. Oh,
It's your time.
I didn't have...
This is the third time she's been just this past week.
When she...
There's only got an email. And then the other day, she came all up. We walked over there the other day. I think Thursday or something like that.
Right, she give you some food? She was worried about you. Yeah. And did you get you some clothes? Where'd you get those?
So, the thrift store donation.
Oh, okay. You said you stole them?
Well,
I'm going to get you first.
most donations. Yeah, just misdemeanor compared to what I'm dealing with.
Again, that's why I appreciate your honesty, because when it all is said and done, you obviously were seeking the Lord. Obviously, it would be reading the Bible with her, and some of the things I think you're trying. But, well, we all fall short, right? We miss the mark. Yeah. When she came in your house, do you think there's any part of her that thought she would have sex with you? That's an honesty question. Do you think she thought she was going to have sex, or do you think she thought she was helping another human? Be honest. For her sake, be honest.
She's torn. That's a little bit of both, probably. I know she loves. Maybe not. Because she's already dealt with a lot the past few days of dealing with the sexual loss. And that's a lot of one of the reasons why she just wanted to marry me, because she was horny that day. So I don't want to get married, so she was ready. Just a lot of like, which we were hung out enough. She has married me. She wants to marry me. And then she realizes it was just a lost thing for her.
Is that your take on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not necessarily the thing she said, it's how you're kind of evaluating what you're seeing.
She finds other things that push me away when she's dealing with loss with me. Instead of telling me, you know,
Did you find her more intriguing because of that, do you think?
yeah, it's a little very nice.
Probably not something you're used to.
That's good. I like it. I wouldn't wear a change.
She's hurt kind of all over, isn't she? Tell me what happened. You only hit her once?
Yeah, once I cut me. They heard what it is. Yeah, she flipped out on me, which I understand. And she started to call me and stuff.
She was scared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, alcohol does attack the mouth, right? I think sometimes when things get out of trouble, sometimes stuff happens like that, right?
No, when you don't get out of control.
When you say that she's torn, when I'm looking at you, I can kind of see in. Now, sometimes I talk to people who you can't see in somebody, they don't have a conscience. When I'm looking at you, you have feelings. You have some feelings, and I can see them. I can see that you're torn. Tell me what you're feeling torn about. What do you think you're feeling torn?
I just want better.
You want your life to be better, or you want...
Well, yeah. So I can bring people in glory in it.
Here's what I'm seeing with you. But one of your strong points is you kind of are stand-up. Like, you might make mistakes, but you don't want to hold your mistakes inside. In this situation, the whole thing's a mistake. I mean, forcing yourself on somebody to have sex when I don't want to is a mistake, right?
That wasn't the intention. It's like a simple tag. And then I can't like, sorry type of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, geez. It's okay if she just sits on my lap. I sit down, she just sits on my lap. It's okay, but I think you're like,
Like, what do I do now? And I know there was this point where there's a little bit of, you're freaking out because you're like, oh my God, now if I let you go, she kind of told me what you're saying, like, I want to let you go. And I think you guys were putting a bag together for her, but then the fear is, this was actually last night, not this morning, but like last night, we were talking about letting her go, and then wondering what's going to happen then. Are they going to come for me? They're going to, you know.
Say nobody wants to go to jail. You know, they do crime. A lot of jail is just being around other inmates that are encouraging.
But you know what? Shawn becomes bigger than that. When it becomes bigger than that, it's just once and for all. Just coming to terms with anything. To help you make sense of it, to help us make sense of it, really, which is what is in your heart, is just to do the right thing. You can't take back what happened in there. She's a beautiful person, inside and out. She's a doll. So, you sit here and think, well, how can I make anything right? Well, I'll tell you how you can make it right, Shawn. Honesty. Honesty that, you know what, how can I take back what I did? You can let her put value on it. You can let her know that, you know what, I did what I did was wrong, it's not your fault. Because really, it's not her fault. And that's where the man up thing is. You're a manly guy. That's the piece of you that's a good piece there. The guy that stands up that says, I did what I did, it was wrong. She didn't deserve that. And then I want her to be okay. For her to be able to put value on it, to 100% honesty is there. Needed what?
Both of us needed to get rid of our household desires and
Needed to have sex?
anyway, I mean.
Okay, and that's honesty. Don't feel like, hey, if you ever thought like that,
She's just battling all the time. She's battling household desires and the roadblock of actually.
did you think by you doing what you did to her that it would push her past that? I'm not.
I don't say overboard, I go overboard.
Overboard, yeah, overboard. It did get overboard. But you know what? She's equipped with what it takes to like emotionally get through something. And what she doesn't understand because she's not sexual with anyone. She didn't go there to have sex. She went there to carry her stuff in. And I think you guys were going to read the Bible. Am I right? And you're reading the Bible, and at some point she decides she wants to leave. And then there's where the switch happened. And then it kind of gets out of control real quick. It did. Here's how she is. When she's talking to me, she just has respect for humans in general, including you. It's amazing to victimize someone like that, puts my through that, and have them think she's still respectful of you. She doesn't make anything worse than it is. She doesn't exaggerate anything. She just says it like it is. And she's crying, and she's having a rough time, and she's hurt. Her body's hurt. She's hurt all over. So, yet at the same time, she's still worried. She's still worried about you. So, some of the things said there, I know that there's that period when you want to let her go, but you're afraid to let her go because of what's going to happen. You guys talked about, she wanted you to come back, so I think she was afraid if she was tied up and then something happened to you, what was she afraid of?
Only tied her when I had to leave.
All right.
Tied her when I got back.
She was afraid if you left her up, tied up, what might happen?
Yeah.
Right? She was afraid you might not come back and then she's tied up. did you end up finding another place you could go? So when you let her go, you would have another place to go? Well, when you told her, I'm gonna go find another place and I'll burn this place, is that, tell me what your thoughts were there, what would be the purpose of that? Just angry? Angry because of what you did? Did you have anything that you could set it on fire with? Did you have any gasoline, or what would you use? Just anything? Inside, Shawn. All inside. Who do you have that you're close to, that you talk to in your life? Like, do you have any social friends, or do you have a church, or what do you have?
Lori,
Just Lori?
pretty much. I mean, so, one of the guys I can talk to, there's people I can talk to.
Let me take a look at some of the things she said, okay? Are you ready? All right. I'm looking for your honesty, so what I'm trying to do is to figure out if you're being honest or not. What I know about you so far is you want to be honest.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is some confusion, but
Right. Well,
I'm not exactly sure. I can try.
well, we know you guys met how long ago?
Maybe 2 months ago.
Okay, and where'd you meet?
We met at the pump house.
Okay,
Crossing.
Clark Center. Did you go there to eat, or what were you doing there? Having lunches,
I
or?
was talking to Stacy about my dad. And assisted living, no places to live.
Okay.
Shelter shut down. So really it's all Ashland's fault for everything I've done. No, still.
You know what, let's put that aside a second.
I'm almost sheltered.
Straight. I think sometimes it's like the perfect storm. You're here in Ashland, you don't have a place to go, you end up being in an abandoned house, which is you're always up on your shoulder when somebody's going to show up here and you're in something you're not supposed to be. It kind of, you meet somebody, she's pretty, she's white, meaning she's clean. You met somebody who's almost angelic, like meeting her boundaries, it makes her almost angelic, which might be then a thrill of the chase. Because I'm certain that you get all any women that you want. I'm sure you don't have a problem with that. Then you have one here who, she will not be intimate, it's not happening. So it becomes kind of a quest. So I took the stress of not having a place to go, and maybe the stress of some other things that have happened puts you in this position at this time, and it is the perfect storm. There you are. So when you say it's Ashland's fault, well, you know what? We can't blame that, but you know what? Sometimes we are where we are because of all those little things that are going on around us. And anybody who thinks otherwise is wrong, because you kind of have to look at it and think, you know what, why I was in this position. For you,
I think the person would have been if I just made it the homeless shelter.
yeah. Right, you're right. So we can always sort out what happened. happened. And here's what's important. It's not hard for us to figure out what happened. We always figure it out. What we can't figure out is, why is this happening? So when I'm talking to you, I think I gotta dig into your heart. I gotta figure out what's in your head and in your heart. Like, why are we where we are? We don't just take anything at face value, no matter how bad it is. We can try to figure out, how did this happen? Why is this guy, when you're talking to, you're articulate, you communicate well. Why is the guy in this position who seems like he should have everything going okay? It's not okay. What happened? So we can't figure out, I can't just assume what's in your heart. I think that's where you come in, and that's where the honesty comes in. I think the issue is beyond Lori. I know what happened with Lori. We're sitting here, you've been honest about it. We know she went in there, we know she didn't want to be intimate, we know you forced her, we know you tie her up, we know all that. And we hear it, it sounds bad because you have a conscience. But it kind of is what it is. I think there's some stress and some other things that are bothering you that made it like nothing really matters anymore, I'm just going to do what I want to do. So,
Started with child support, time after time. And it started when my mom left, as a child. I come home from school and she's gone, but I don't plan. I used to, but
what age did you leave?
she go by herself.
30.
It's fine. She's able to adopt 2 boys now as well, and actually help them out.
Did you ever get to see her?
No, not no more. I haven't been out to my mom's for a while. There's a time when I needed some help. I was thinking about I didn't have. And this is the time that if you're going to help me, you should help me. I was going to forget you. I just did. I forgot her. She's capable of helping me. Yeah, about probably 8 years now. After Christmas.
Explain some things, Shawn.
My dad moved across the street when I was 14. This is my brother and I were 16 when I was 14. My dad moved across the street.
And left 2 boys there? And just left 2 boys there?
So bad, they did. Got out. Got everybody and when everybody laid out, almost seemed like everybody was different schools and everywhere come through. He was close enough, he'd be able to call. He hears the radio and tell us to turn it down.
Yeah.
Died.
That's hard.
It doesn't matter, I'm used to it.
Well, I don't know where you are. You know what I mean? I think all of us little pieces play a part in where we are, why we do the things that we do. No matter what goes wrong or what has been wrong, when it comes down to it, sometimes your whole life hinges on a moment. Well, today, for Lori, you can give her peace, you gave her peace by being honest. You know what I mean? You give her peace, and you do the right thing. So I'm going through everything. Still human, you know what I mean? It does matter, Shawn, it does. And your whole moment, it might be right now.
It doesn't matter.
was. You've given her peace, right? You gave her peace by being honest, right? Do you agree with me? I know, because I know what she wanted. She wanted you to be honest so that she can feel like a good girl, because she is one. And you may. You know what, Shawn? You know what? I think sometimes when it seems so bad, it makes you kind of evaluate what is life. What is life? Do you know what you becoming in here and being so open and honest does for me? I talk to people who hurt little tiny kids all day long. That's what I do. And you know what? Having somebody come in and explain the mindset and anything they do helps me to deal with those situations. Every time I talk to somebody, it's like a little training.
Yeah. Sure, figure it out.
It does. You know what it tells us then? Is the impact of what, the other kids in your school thought, they're a little honest, yes. In reality,
I'm trying to answer you.
I'm not getting that.
I think a lot of people do. People look at character.
Yes, they are.
What don't you get?
You did. You busted your knuckle, didn't you? On her tooth. Is her tooth okay?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I fell off the truck. Up and told over.
I still touch on a few points. How we ended up there.
The other guys just have a little bit of info carried, man.
What's important when you leave here today, okay, is that you get an understanding of yourself, and whenever we do something, you gotta figure, okay, how can I lessen the fallout? How can I make this right? For you, with Lori, I think you're pretty much there. You're pretty much there. The biggest thing is not to put anything on her that she doesn't deserve. And I think we both know she's basically urgent. She doesn't want to be physical, and we know what happened, okay? In there, is there any point where you use a condom or no condoms? None? Okay. And I talk about this stuff all day long, so it doesn't embarrass me, but sometimes when I ask people, it's like great to be asked that. Was she kicking you, trying to kick you in the crotch? Did you get to or just tried? Okay. You're strong. You said you're very strong.
Yeah, I am. Don't be blow off.
Did you notice bruise on her arm. It's pretty bad. Her that one. Okay. Somehow that's a good answer if you don't know, right? Somehow that is. Sometimes it... I think...
It's like a few little taps.
But you do understand with your strengths, that a little tap to you on somebody like that is going to cause some other
Things like that, but this was actually when she just started going crazy first, and I didn't know what to do.
So you thought if when you hit her, she'll snap out and submit?
She didn't still submit.
She did, she still tried to fight?
She stopped. I did.
Yeah, so did her mouth bleed?
Yeah, I split her. Did too, most of the time.
Yeah. She said that when you were trying to put yourself in her, that you were having a hard time getting that in her. Is that what the way you would call it as well? When you were trying to have sex with her, you would call it being difficult to...
It does. Yeah. Or I'll start getting off.
You always have a hard time?
No. Not getting over too excited or too crazy at the time. I don't know. Smooth.
That's a new thing for you? Okay. Do you think it could be how many times you had sex with her? It looks like there's a lot of different times. You think, I may have played a part. What do you think? She said there were times when you would promise to let her go. Then you would say, no, I can't. When you would say,
Asking.
to go,
Yeah.
she could, but no, you can't. Was that because you were afraid what was going to happen and you come up with a plan, or was it because you thought, I want to do it one more time?
Sometimes it's just going too fast.
Meaning you wanted to just keep her there and do it another time when you messed with her again?
Just trying to spend time with her that I would do. Spend time with her for a long time. And that she was saying all kinds of nice things, you know what I mean? And when we to realize that it's true or not, she would quit asking me to, she would be okay by being there at least a little bit. But she kept asking me, "Where you take me home?" You know what I mean? Talk about that, and just relax. He's talking, this is new, I'm trying to be as I understand your situation in a way, a little bit. I'm trying, I try to understand. But all in all, it's just too fast. Time wasn't the third time is bad time. And well, she was tired. Just go to bed. I would make her a little bit better than I did last night. I don't regret it. Chill on the road. Life, it don't matter. Life, me, I died a long time ago on the cross. Whatever happens to me, it does not matter. It's temporary life anyways.
Okay. Think about her.
Yes. I care about
If you hurt a woman, do you care about their family knowing what's going on or what happened? If you hurt somebody, do you care that the right thing to do would be to make it right? Right? Tell them the truth? Okay. Okay. 2 cell phones? Which one did you video her with? The black one? What was she doing when you videoed her?
Acted up.
Do what? Was she giving you oral sex when you did it? Okay. She put some duct tape over her mouth. To put duct tape over? Okay. You think this will impact her for a long time?
Should be able to move on, stay focused now.
Do you think it will cause her some trust issues? Do you think they'll be worse?
She's still single, hasn't been married, 36. She has really bad trust issues.
Is my car that you burned that you've been driving around? You told me that you had a car down the street.
One and two. I found car keys. Showed her,
You found some car keys?
yeah, car keys. Found me car keys.
Where did you find it?
Down there.
Okay. Did you tell her that you had a dream that you were told to do this to her? Did you have a dream or you just said that to her?
I've had dreams about a lot of things that
Usually about women. You know, I said that this is the time to be pain. This is it.
something else on me, this goddamn day, like, I don't know how to shit. I have pictures of this door and everything Friday the movie in advance of opportunity in advance of I want to end up with the opportunity. Then dreams. April Smith. It's like, I'm thinking about April Smith, about one layer. April Smith. And a warning, like, stay away from her.
Okay.
And I didn't take that warning, and I realized, hey, all right, you got to go. And, other friends, it's hard to even really explain, I'm not really explaining about stuff like that, because it's one of those personal things. When you talk about it, feels, things aren't given no more. You lose all your inner.
I think I understand that. I think you do. Except if you don't understand it yourself, and it's just being you're in positions where
They see it,
Things are happening.
people like, oh, I've had to
Has anybody ever sat down with you like this and talked about something like this before? Before today with us? Listen, I'm going to be checking up on Molly, okay? And I'm going to tell her that you've been honest. Part of me thinks that you're thinking something needed to happen, but I'm going to bluntly ask you, okay? Because you've been candid about with me, so I'm going to do the same thing for you, okay? That's only fair. You forced yourself on her. Do you think that is good for her to have somebody force themselves to have sex with you? Is that good or not good? It's not good. Okay. So you think she needed to have sex with somebody? Do you think she needed to be forced into sex? Be honest.
She needed it because she wasn't going to do it herself because it's so long. She needs to be free.
Tying her up and forcing her sex is not free. You tie her up when you leave to keep her from leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. You're 5 times as strong as her, am I right? Is that right or wrong? That's kind of a given, right? So she doesn't have the option of not. She tried to fight you off. I mean, looking at this whole thing, you forced her to have sex. She didn't want to. So looking at it, you still think that's what she needed, or do you think it should happen a different way? What do you think? Be honest, and if that's how you feel, be honest. Maybe sexually do what you want her to do.
Maybe there would be more effort though, you know what I mean? Maybe there'd be more effort. But then again, we might just only have, we might not even have sex on the honeymoon, you know, like one of the things. She's still, and again, maybe she's out in the world. It's one of the things that probably should just wait until married.
So you have a conscience, do you agree?
Yeah.
You think your life's over. You think you said you died a long time ago, maybe probably you're slowly, emotionally, you feel like dead.
Yeah, I got on the cross with Jesus.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about some other stuff, okay? When I told you that we'd always figure it out, we do. And for you, Shawn, you want to be a stand-up guy, you try to be one, okay? So right now, I want to talk about some other things that we're digging into, okay? I think this can be a one conversation deal. And we sort out where your heart is, and what's happening, and how you want to make a couple things right, okay? We can't find Elizabeth. We'll find her, but we can't right now. Hey, look at me. Look at me. I need your help. Okay? I need your help. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not really your side. We're gonna help it. I'm gonna ask you for your help here. Okay? Are you hearing me okay? Are you understanding when I talk? Can you help me? Why? This might be one of those moments. This might be your moment to do the right thing. To do the right thing, Shawn. The right thing. The right thing is to tell us where she is. Hey. You're asking. I'm asking you. I'm asking you to tell me where she is. Do I think she's okay? No, I don't. I know you have a conscience, I know you have a heart, okay? I need your help. That's what I'm asking for. You came in and said, I don't care about me anymore. I had a long time ago. You're trying to help the situation with, let's just put it in perspective, with what you described with Lori. As far as doing things wrong, that's pretty much, there it is, right? So really, anything that's happened with Elizabeth is the same exact thing. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? Don't do the same thing. No, it's, I mean, there's a level of seriousness. It can't be a whole lot different than. I'd say it's a whole lot different. Tell me how. Because you care about Lori? Different. Probably a whole different situation. I agree. What I'm saying is something might be serious in this realm and something mysterious in this realm. And this one hits this level and this one also hits this level. Two whole different scenarios. Okay, two whole different scenarios. I don't think she's okay. We're past that, I think. We're past that. You know she's not okay. What? You know she's not okay. You already know. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I know. Maybe she's better off, Bill. Hey, she's tormented. There's some things that I know about her that Lori. I do. I do. Yeah. So. Mentally abused. That's just a little piece of it, yeah. Your dad? His dad. Or your family? How many people? So, I know she was tormented. I know that. And maybe she's in a new place right now. So, I think you already know that. I think we both do. I hope she's in a better place. I don't know for sure. Well, we know at least she believes in God, right? I know that. I know that. And I know that. So, I believe she's God. And if she is, I know where she is. Meaning, I know she's there to walk with God. Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah. If I want to be a child of God, I'll have to get heaven. Well said. So, up here, despite saying free words, yeah. Still have all their freedom and just do whatever they want. You know what I think I understand about you? You're like a perfect example of watching the people who matter you let you down and watching what it creates in you. And I'm not a counselor, Shawn, but I can see it. I talk to people who hurt sometimes on both ends of things. But you're not like the typical guy that I talk to, no matter how bad this is or how bad what you've done is. I've got people who hurt little kids who are totally different. It's different.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll need someone to take care of them as well.
Shawn,
I'm not talking about kids, I'm talking about people who work kids.
but I know that, I know your heart is. You know what I think? Sometimes when I look at Elizabeth's situation, I know what she wanted, so if somebody helped her with that, then it happened. I want to find her. Will you help me? She had a mom. She had a mom. Will you help me?
What's your mom like?
She was like a failure. Devastated. Yeah. She wants to bury her daughter. That's what she wants.
I think he's giving me a chance.
What?
You're giving me a chance. You already got it.
I am.
Yeah, you're giving me a chance.
Can you take me to her?
You've already found her.
How? No.
You have like some fear that something happened to her already.
Hey,
I don't know, you're trying to find somebody that did something to her.
more important than finding what happened to her is finding her body. Can you do that much for me? Shawn,
What do you already have?
I don't have it. No.
Because you have like something already happened to her.
Remember when I told you I'm going to be honest with you? I am. I want to tell you something different because I may need your help with something, and if you don't trust me, you're not going to tell me.
Right.
Can you take me to where she is? Why? Shawn, it's the right thing. It's the right thing to do. Shawn, look at me. It's the right thing. I know it is. Can you do it? I take in my little detective truck. Can you take me out and we can go find her? We can go get her where she is. Hey, I want to do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking for Elizabeth's body. Can you take me to it?
She's dead.
I believe she is. Hey.
The other guy.
Hey. Listen to me. It's a mere moment.
Is it a moment?
I believe it is.
A moment when I die. Once I'm put in a cell, you are is my moment.
We don't. Listen. Things are never the way they look at face value. And this ain't a glory. It's not exciting the way you think it is right off the bat. You know what I mean?
I'll be able to take you to her, maybe someone else.
Guns? How many are there?
Did you say name?
What?
I don't know. You might not be dead.
100%. I'm honest with you. I think she is.
Well, you know.
But
Well, you know.
because we haven't found her. Hey, you know how bad your parents hurt you? Her mom is decent. You know what she's doing right now? She's begging. She's begging to have her daughter. She doesn't think she's okay with her. I think you're broken inside. And I think people you cared about let you down. The thing with Lori, we didn't make it bigger than it is. And I talked to her and asked questions that would benefit you. I'm asking you to stand up right now and fight. To stand up and do the right thing. To take the things that have happened, things that are wrong, and right now, do the right thing. That's what I'm asking. Okay. Do you know where Elizabeth is right now? Okay, what you tell anybody else? I care what you're telling me. Hey.
Actually, I already know. I can't answer your question right now.
Look at me. I do not know where she is. I'm not lying. Why would I lie about that? What do I have to gain? Well, I spent 20 minutes trying to get you to tell me where she is. What would I gain from that? You won't trust me? That's not where I am.
I knew where she was. Guilty.
Hey, we can I'm not gonna leave your side, okay? Believe that. You can shed some light on why things happened, right? We can dissect her personality. We can figure out a few things about her, okay? Yeah, we can explain. We can put some value to what happened, okay? Will you take me to her? You and me. Will you take me to her or not? That's what I'm asking. Will you do that for me? I want you to take me to where Elizabeth is and tell me where she is. You've already tried to make one situation right, right? Can we go to her? Why wouldn't you do that? Hey. You have a conscience, so you know, and I believe you do. Tell me why you don't know that. What do you mean?
Where she is. Where she is. What she's doing. What she's been missing. For a while now. I've heard it about 3 times from people.
doesn't make you keep having to tell me anything. It's just trying to make something right. It says a lot about you. It says that you may have dealt a hand to hell for life, but then it comes down to it, even when you're wrong, you try to do the right thing. All right?
Should be sad for her. Everybody should be sad for her. I don't know, should be sad, I guess. Be sad for her. That's what she wants everybody to do. Supposed to have fun. Just grow up. One of these days, retard check.
If she asked for something or asked for having something, doing something to do herself. And that's why I don't want to tell you what I already know, because I know her. I know. I've got some other writings, so I know that where her mind goes. When I say know something, that's what I know. So, has she asked you to help her with something? That's an honesty question. Has she asked you to help her with something?
No, really.
What do you mean?
No, she hasn't asked me again. She's mentioned it about not wanting to be alive before at one time. But within 5 minutes I know her. Oh my goodness. She should have taken help back or put them in an institution a long time ago. Something special. They need a special. They almost need a special seat for all the retards out there collecting the retard check. They're unable to get a work job. And they collect their $710 check. So we need to get them out there. Good thing I'm going to jail. Started already in state. Capable, waste alive, I need to say.
You know, I respect the kind of when you are on talking. It is frustrating. It is frustrating.
Yeah. Oh, that's just all. If they were, they get their free monthly, their rent, everything taken care of, and the state's just managing them more and more, and it's acceptable.
It's true. When I tell you I don't think she's alive, it's because that's what I think. And if I'm asking you to take me to where she is, then I don't know what else to say. I don't know where she is. I would like for you to take me there. If you're willing to do it, we'll load up and go there.
Do you smoke?
I don't. I can get a cigarette if you need one. Sometimes I think I need to smoke. Hi. Remember I told you about Kadoju? I done it. You're open and honest, and I really appreciate it.
I guess my lethal injection. But I'll tell you first.
Okay.
How many before a lethal injection?
are you thinking of?
The house. No.
The house what?
Where I came from.
Yeah. Is somebody in there?
Yeah.
Is Elizabeth? Where is she in there? In the closet? Which closet? Upstairs. What happened? Okay. All right, Shawn. Okay. How did you do it, Shawn?
She wanted more. She did that first. She came home and I said, I'll go home. I'll eat some barbecue chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, this sounds good. So we want some? So we came over. Let's go back home.
Okay.
She called me later. Just what I'm doing. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Maybe it's 10 o'clock. Right. Yeah, if you have something, let's be honest, you talk some more. Alright, that's fine. If you want that. She's very bad now, so I'm already doing away. It's like, Lord, they got her home. It's like growth thing.
Okay. 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 So Elizabeth, you want to free her. How did you do that? Okay, is she in anything or just in the closet? I mean, you have no part, did you put her in anything? You want your clothes? Flies? You mean the house that you're staying in right now? Which closet, what room? Can you, is there an odor? Okay. Hey, you want something else to drink? Have you some water? What sounds good to you?
So she tried to drink my last cup of coffee because it told me a while.
Let's get you some coffee and you want a granola bar or something? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go get a coffee and a granola bar, okay? Are you understanding me when I talk? Okay. Are you? Okay. All right, let me go grab you your coffee and a granola bar. Is there anything else you need? Give me something, okay? Yeah, your cup. Okay, let me grab it.
Do you have any follow-up questions you wanted to ask before we recess, Mr. Tennell?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12:52 PM. We're going to take our lunch recess for an hour. Please be back in the jury room by 1:55 PM, and we'll try to get started promptly at 2 o'clock. Again, don't form any opinion, don't draw any conclusion in this matter, don't let anybody discuss the case with you, and don't look at any media coverage. Court will be in recess for roughly an hour. Thank you.